came really close to even being totally wiped out. In fact, from the Mississippi River to the East Coast, it was completely decimated or extirpated. And it was Dr. Hickey at the University of Madison that convened a conference in 1965 where they found the smoking gun DDT. And thanks to help from a lot of people, including, ironically, Walt Disney, shaming America for using DDT, it was outlawed in 1971. DDT has a half-life of 27 years, and now we're seeing the bald eagles, the Cooper's hawks, the turkey vultures, the pelicans, many species of birds coming back to normal numbers. The peregrine, though, was totally wiped out, and so we had to use captive-bred birds under an effort started by Tom Cade at Cornell University. I used to be a naturalist at the Science Museum in Minnesota 35 years ago, and I would preach gloom and doom, and people would you'd see their eyes glaze over, like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. I think the message is, if we saved the peregrine falcon, and I think we have to use that as an example of it in making environmental corrections. And the same methods of captive propagation and bird husbandry and even avian husbandry that we used in the peregrine falcon are now being used for the Andean condor and other last-ditch species. It shows that we can take birds from just a few breeding pairs and bring them back to pre-DDT numbers. And that's a conservation success story, and we need these success stories. I think we need them just as much, we have to give them just as much attention as our environmental problems, because that shows us that we can make the difference. It's a perfect example of correcting an environmental wrong.